Hello, my name is Brittany and welcome to Family Fridays Paint Night. A few words before we begin. Happy New Year, Family Fridays! I can't believe it's already 2022. It seems like just yesterday was 2014 when I started volunteering at the Art and Spirituality Center. I hope this year brings everyone good health and prosperity. I truly hope the status of the world changes and we are able to paint together soon. Also, thank you for your continued interest and support for this workshop. You can expect a new video every third Friday of the month for the foreseeable future until we can resume classes in person at the Art and Spirituality Center. Speaking of which, there are other classes being held virtually if you are interested in taking any of those. I'll leave the link to our virtual calendar in the description box below. As a reminder, my class was made to promote bonding between family and friends. You do not need to be an artist to enjoy art. My art isn't perfect, so don't think yours needs to be either. To all those participating in this activity, I want you to try your best and don't worry about the outcome. My hope is for you to let go, get lost in the artistic process, and forget about what's currently happening in the world, even just for a little bit. One last thing before we begin. Feel free to pause, rewind, fast forward, mute, or do anything you need in order to follow along with this video. I normally take over 3 hours to complete a painting, even though my class runs about 2.5 hours. For the sake of time and to make a short video, the clips you see of me painting are sped up significantly. Please, by all means, relax and take your time. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Here is what we will be painting for January of 2022. Disclaimer, this is not my original artwork as I found it somewhere on the internet. I do not take credit for this concept and I wish I could find the original artist to give credit. Think of this as a study of the original artwork. Here we have a scene of a beautiful light display in the night sky above a nice, quiet home. Feel free to take artistic control, change the colors, make additions or adjustments, or change it up completely. The choice is yours. Alright, let's talk about paint. We'll be using acrylic paint for this activity. You can use the fancier, more expensive paints if you want to. For this project, I'll be using paints you can find at your local craft store or even Walmart that are less than $1. We'll need a few colors: pink, red, yellow, green, blue, turquoise, black, and white. We'll need a few brushes today: a large flat brush, a medium flat brush, a medium round brush, and a thin detail brush. Some other materials we will need: something to put under the canvas or canvas board, such as a tablecloth or newspaper. You can also use a mat board like this one I've used several times. Of course, you need something to paint on. I personally will be using a canvas board, 12 by 16 specifically. You can also use an actual canvas of any size as well. Then we have our paints. You'll need a plate to put the paint on. You can also use a palette if you have one, a water cup to clean your paintbrushes, and lastly, a paper towel or an old towel. I'm using an old towel that I have used for other paintings, as you can see here. Okay, order of operations, how this painting will go. First, we'll draw the mound that the trees and the house will be sitting on. Then we're going to work on the background. Specifically, we're going to lay out the paint that is the pink, which is the bigger portions of the light sky colors, and then we'll fill in the rest with our darker colors, blue and green. That's the first layer. Then we will do our finalized second layer of all the colors. Then after that, we will add the stars using an upwards flicking motion. Then we will paint out 3 lines for the trees, draw and paint our house, fence, and other little tree right here, and then fill in all of that silhouette with black. Alright, let us begin. First, I'm going to start pouring out my paint. I'm going to pour out some black, blue, green, yellow, pink, red, and I initially did pour out some purple, but looking back at the painting, I actually didn't use any purple, so disregard that. You can use purple if you want to, but I actually didn't. And then also teal. You don't necessarily need to have teal as a color. You can mix it with blue, probably a little bit of yellow, and some white. I will be pouring out some white as well, and just have fun with it. So basically what this painting is, it's kind of a variation of the Northern Lights, that display that we see. It's so pretty. It doesn't really give that little curved little like misty effect. It's just a really nice pretty color display. That was the original painting, the reference picture that I saw. So in that there's variations of pink, red, green, all the colors that we just poured out. You can do it just green, you can do it just pink, whatever colors you would like to. So off camera, I went ahead and I drew out my little mound, and that's probably from the left side of the canvas, just about 2 inches, and then it just goes up a little bit and then curves down to the right. And now it's just a matter of placing your colors. So I was also teaching myself how to do this as well. So I'm basically just putting down or doing a color block of where I want these bigger pieces of color to go. So I know going from the reference picture that the bottom right hand corner is the yellows and greens. So that's what I'm doing right here. Just making sure that since it is a white canvas and these colors are a little bit on the lighter side, that I can get it as light as possible. I'm not painting over darker colors because that would require more layers. So I'm just going to put in these lighter colors first. And then after that, I'm just going to go in with the pink. So the way that I kind of looked at it, going back from the reference picture, which you can find in our calendar, those are the reference pictures, and the pictures that you see in this video, those are all mine. Basically just looks like lightning bolts. So right here we just have a big streak of color going from the left to the right side, kind of at an angle, and then another little one. Eventually I will connect those, and then up top to the right hand corner I'm basically going to do a little lightning bolt. And I really can't teach you where to put the color. It was just basically what I felt looked good together. So there's one little lightning bolt, and I might add another little one right next to it. But so it's just a matter of blending it nicely. So we have the pink, I'll put some red in there, you can see some white in there. This first layer of colors, that's just so I know where I want the colors to go. And so the next layer of colors, the paint has something to grab onto. So this first layer, it might look a little weird, and I kind of scared myself a little bit too, but I had faith, I believed in myself, and then the second layer turned out much better, and the colors were definitely more vibrant. So have fun with this. You can use all the colors that you want, even colors that I didn't pour out myself. You can mix colors. Can do whatever you would like to do. This is your very own light display, and I believe in you, and I know it's going to look great. So right here it just looks a little too light for my liking, so I will go in there and eventually add some black and mix it with this blue to make it look like a navy, just to make it look like a darker, nighter sky. So just trust the process, trust yourself, and have fun. By the time I did my second layer after this first layer dried, I still felt like the colors and my placement could have been better, but once you add all of the stars, using that upwards flicking motion, it made it look so much better. So I really like doing galaxies and doing stars. Like stars, just kind of like glitter, just makes everything better. So trust the process, trust yourself. This is what's gonna take up the majority of the painting, the majority of your time. This painting, as you can see the length of the video, it's not that long. It's just basically putting in colors where you like it, and then the trees and the house does not take long at all. So right here I already did my first layer, so now I'm going into my second, and I'm just basically making the colors brighter and bolder. So have fun, I believe in you, and I will check back in a while. This is just putting in our colors and blending it how we like it. So I will check back in when we are ready for the stars. Good luck and have fun. Alright, hello, welcome back. I'm sure your light display in the sky looks beautiful. So now we're going to work on the stars. So I poured out some fresh white paint and I'm watering it down, and I'm using my medium flat brush to make it just a little bit milky. So in an upwards flicking motion and pointing my paintbrush down towards the canvas, I'm just going to make little stars. So just kind of going back and forth, grabbing in some new paint when less paint isn't flickering off my brush anymore. So I'm really covering it in stars, and just like I mentioned, it looks so much better with the stars, just like glitter. It looks so much better. I really want to get some big splatters in there, so I'm kind of just really flicking it extra hard and making it a little bit more watery to do that. So after our stars, the last step is just paint the houses and the trees. So first we need to paint the mound. So we're just going to get our medium flat brush and just paint this all black. And I am painting the edges or the corners of my canvas. You don't have to, but that's just something I like to do. So after this is painted, we will go ahead and work on our trees. Alright, now with my thin detail brush, I'm just going to start off our trees by making the centers or the trunks. So this one, the first one to our left, is a lot smaller than the one I'm painting right now. That is to make it look like one is in the background and one is in the foreground. And then this little medium-sized one, those are the sizes right there, is kind of in the middle, and it's closer to the edge of the page. So just like we did the trees for our snow globe last time in December, I'm just getting the same brush, my small detail brush, and we're just doing little strokes, little downward strokes at an angle. So starting from the center and flicking our way to the bottom right on this side and now to the bottom left. You can do your trees as thin or as thick as possible, or if you have a fan brush, that would totally work too. This is just the style of tree that the reference picture had. So right now we're just working on our trees, then after that we will do the house. Alright, and now the last steps, we're going to work on the house. So the house is not too far away from this tree right here. So first I'm going to do the house part, the main floor. So I am drawing out 2 lines, and we can always make it wider if we want to, but I do need to make room for that last tree and the tire swing, and the fence. So I'm just making it small for now, and I can make it bigger. So we're first starting off with a little square and then a triangle on top. Right here it looks like I could use a little bit of space more on the right side. So after I fill that in, I'm just going to expand that wall just a little bit further. before I expand the house a little bit further, I'm just going to do the fence really quick. So just a nice little extension, nice little rectangle going from the left to the right and then down to the bottom, filling that in completely. And then from right here, I can really see that I could add in a little bit more of that wall. So I'm just going to do that right now. And then to complete the house, I'm just going to do a nice little chimney. Okay, now we're going to add in a different style tree, or at least one that we haven't done in a while. I'm not sure when the last time we've done a tree like this is. So we're really going to add the trunk right here. So I'm going to do a line on the left side, a line on the right side, and right here I'm just doing some bigger curved lines for the roots of the tree. And then basically what these trees look like, you can do anything with how the branches go. Branches branch off into different directions, so there's no wrong way of doing this. Plus, when we add all of the leaves in there, it's kind of going to be disguised just a little bit. So first I want to start off with the center, make it nice and curved going up and a little bit thick, and then all these little branches to the corners, and just think of Y, making the letter Y. So we have a branch, then another little branch, make Y, Y, Y. So from this extension is the tire swing. So I'm going to do a line going from that branch and then a nice little circle. And then one of these very last steps is to add in some grass with my thin detail brush, just to give it a little bit more detail. Then last but not least, with my medium round brush, kind of being dried a little bit, I'm just going to stamp in some leaves, and you can make it as thick or as thin as possible, just as much as you want. And that is it, my friends. Good job if you made it this far and completed the painting. I'm happy with my finished product, and I hope you are with yours too. If your painting looks different from mine, that is totally fine. As you know, I miss everyone, and I really wish I were with my Family Friday class painting alongside them. I'm also happy to know that more people have had the chance and opportunity to do art safely at home and on their own time. I hope these videos bring you joy and you were able to relax and not worry about the current events of the world, even just for a little bit. Please stay safe, have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time.